and this result, I guess, was beginning to be accepted by people. And Bob Dickey, a very distinguished theoretician and experimental physicist, worked at Princeton. And he had his own ideas, which were slightly different from Einstein. He wanted something to be wrong with general relativity. He came and he slapped me on the back and said, "You've done it. You've shown general relativity is wrong." So it wasn't quite what I thought I'd done, but still. What he didn't realize is that the same argument would apply to his theory. But, maybe I told him later. I didn't know enough about his theory to know that the same argument would show. So you definitely get the singularities. It doesn't tell you what they look like, the singularities, or whether the curvature goes infinite or something else funny happens. It just shows that something goes wrong. And what it is that goes wrong, one could argue about. It does not quite say that you get black holes in general situations. It tells you get singularities, and there is something more horrible that could happen, which are what I call naked singularities. Those are singularities that you could actually see, and the information could come out from them. As far as I'm aware, there is as yet no proof that in general case you don't get naked singularities. I put this as a conjecture, which I call cosmic censorship, that somehow the good Lord or somebody or other, or whatever it would be, didn't like his ideas, and they were sort of closed in these singularities, in these event horizons, so you couldn't see them. But that's what gave you a black hole. It took a while, I think. Various people, not just Bob Dickey, but I remember Phil Morrison, who was a very distinguished physicist, and I remember talking to him, and he said he didn't believe in black holes. And I told him, why? And he said, well, he didn't believe in general relativity. It was not that well confirmed. The evidence in favor of general is now extremely good. There's a lot of extremely good evidence in favor of it. But at the time, there was, plausible reason to doubt it. And my guess is that that's what Einstein's reaction would have been. In fact, he did consider situations with stars going around in some complicated way, and they ought really to collapse inwards, but he had them orbiting around in a way that he thought would stop them collapsing. So that he was trying to prevent this kind of situation. But he was also working on these unified field theories, which were trying to go more than encompassing gravity, encompassing electromagnetism and other fields too. And he thought that general relativity was just a step in the route to these other theories. And if it went wrong because of singularities, then so much for the theory. I'm just guessing what he would have thought.
When this came out in '65, to what extent did you think there would be experimental or observational confirmation? I mean, perhaps in your lifetime or soon.
There were some ideas about detecting gravitational waves, but their detection was much too primitive. Well, Joe Weber had an idea, and he had a machine which he thought was detecting gravitational waves, but that was not true. He was over-optimistic. I thought he might have been right too, and I was wrong. I remember being corrected by the then astronomer royal. We shouldn't believe Dickey. No doubt, we shouldn't believe Joe Weber. That was an interesting time. But it took a long time for the black holes to be accepted. I seem to remember going